Hello, everybody. This is The Empty Minds, and we're very excited because we are about to take a little bit of a detour. We've been letting you guys into our lives for about 2.5 years now. Throughout those 2.5 years, we've been doing some reviews. And from what we've seen is that you guys have enjoyed the movie reviews most out of anything. So we're going to give you guys a little bit more of that with our first movie review with American Psycho. So this is a classic movie. Was one of those ones that kicked off Christian Bale's career. How did you notice some things that were different in this one from your previous watch?
Well, I was more hyped to watch this time around. I was like laughing about the card thing more.
Oh yeah, that's a scene that's in a lot of memes. You get to see our character there, Patrick Bateman. He's with his friends. If you were to take all these people and see them individually and talk to them, they would be the same person. And that's kind of how it is. Everybody's the same because they're all trying to be the same.
It's weird how that's kind of how society works in general, even now, like not just like high, what would you call it, high society or whatever, but even just like, you know, where we are.
Pretty sure that's how it is in the real world.
Yeah.
American Psycho.
It's like,
we're not in the real world.
No, like, it's just like little things. You think of like, if you're playing sports, like you got to fit in. People, there's such a pressure to fit in. If you don't, it's
conformity. And Patrick, the way that he is, but that's one of those things that the movie is trying to convey. If we were following these guys' life, it might be the same. He's in his shower. He's getting he's getting ready. He shows us his morning routine, just like that guy. Patrick Bateman started morning routines. What was his name? I can't remember. He was a big meme at one point where he like dunked his face in water and ran and ate bananas. And you know, he's narrating this facial wash, this scrub.
I don't know. For me, I think I related with him. He's bringing up that stuff. I was like, fuck, I do that.
We go look and you're just wearing that mask, taking it off upstairs. People, because he says there's only an idea of a Patrick Bateman. There isn't one. He's just made it up.
What's funny is that, to what you were saying about like conformity and all that, he gets mistaken for two other people in this movie. There's one at the beginning, one at the end, where he's just like, Bateman's a dork, and he's like talking to Bateman. It's pretty good.
Not only that, Paul Allen is mistaken for somebody else because they say like, oh, we saw Paul Allen in London. So we see him and his secretary Jane. Right away, see where Patrick Bateman puts women. Like, he does not respect women at all. He pretty much sees them as like, you're here to be pretty for me, and then you're here for me to kill you.
Yeah, that was the only thing I knew about the movie, was just that scene where he's flexing in the mirror and he points or whatever. I was like, that's only like even the memes I didn't know was from this movie. Like
I know
the pouty lips or whatever. And all. I didn't know that was all from this movie.
There's so many memes from this movie. It's so good. The card scene, the lips, the fleck.
He has a mask on too.
I did listen to the book. Don't remember all of it, but in that book, every section is everything is explained in it. It's like, so then Vice Patton showed up and he was wearing his black suit and his Armani toes. They did that every scene. It was insane. Thank God they didn't do all that in this movie.
Yeah. Huh.
Because it would have been 8 hours long. But yeah, it's very intense.
I just like all the kills that he did in the movie, like all the women dying constantly. Like
that's what you like. I love that you explain women.
Well, that's who he mostly had in his. Paul Allen.
I love the chainsaw dropping.
The chainsaw drop was crazy. Yeah,
that was a good kill.
I thought that the deaths in general were just like Gus Fring a little bit, just how professional he would act about it all.
It is.
Actually, what I really liked was that scene where who was it? No, that's the Paul Allen guy when he kills him because he had the raincoat on. The way the blood splattered on him, and he took it off, and it was just like his whole suit was like neat and clean.
He's like, you fucking stupid bastard. But get a little ahead of ourselves because the next part is actually a different kill. And that's an off-screen one. So now it cuts to Patrick. He's walking at night and you see like a don't walk sign and he's with this woman beside him. Believe that sign is supposed to be like a sign to her, like don't walk. You know what I mean? Like don't go with him. And then immediately we cut and now Patrick's at a fucking dry cleaners with these bloody sheets trying to get them washed. And you just know that it's the blood from the woman he just killed. As everybody would like to pick up on the internet, as he's leaving, there's like a split second where he's like, okay, have a good night. And then he just drops his face to like what is supposed to be like his true face. Where it's like he's just ominous, down looking, just upset because for that split second, while he was turning around, nobody behind him, nobody in front of him, he didn't have to show his true face. Or like his fake face, sorry. So he let his true face go.
That's how they all were
All those Wall Street guys. Definitely. The famous card scene and the first introduction to Paul Allen.
What's funny is the beginning card and Paul Allen's card are all the same. I think Bateman shows his card first, and he sweats over the minute details of the cards.
Like the third card, I think, was a bit different.
But the thing that's funny is you see Patrick Bateman's cards first, and you're like, okay, looks like a standard business card. Then you see, I think it's Van Patten's card, and it's just bumpy. And then Bryce shows his card, and it's just another bumpy card. And then they're like, oh, cool. Like, it's like the two have like no difference.
Same.
And then Paul Allen gave one of the guys, I think, McDermott. And then they're like, let's see. He's like, let's see Paul Allen's card. And then he drops it down, and it looks pretty much just like Bateman's. But for some reason, Bateman's just coming over this card, and they all are. And it's only because Paul Allen got the Fisher account, which is like this big account that's making a lot of money, but it provides a high status. Like, it was the most big account that you could have in the thing, and he's got it. So his card must be the best because it got these people. And that makes Patrick Bateman just absolutely pissed because he wants to be the top guy. He wants everybody to look at him like this, but it's also very weird because he wants everybody to look at him like he's amazing, but he doesn't really care about that. Like, he's just using it to get him somewhere, but it's like he needs to be that. It's very strange, very odd perspective, which you're trying to figure out throughout the movie. But
Yeah.
the card scene, I love that when he shows them, he's like, very, very impressive.
Yeah. That's funny. This is the second movie that Willem Dafoe is like an investigator, but doesn't lead anywhere. Because first was this is first, but then Beetlejuice 2 also has that, where he's like looking into Beetlejuice and goes nowhere. Same with this. Like, I thought there would be a confrontation, but it kind of ends without Willem Dafoe.
Yeah, see, I think a lot of it was that Patrick is just looking at this because he's more insane as something worse than it is. And this guy's just casually interviewing him, but Patrick's taking it as something else. He's not even really a suspect, but he's just kind of like there.
Yeah,
so
that's how I kind of interpret the whole movie, is that people don't expect the rich people to kill or like whatever. Just, that's how I interpret the ending anyway. So that's kind of why I figured that, he probably just like swept everything under the rug, didn't really care. Just overlooked shit.
It's totally part, like, you're totally right. It's part that and part just everybody's so full of themselves and so like in with what they're doing that they don't see anything else around them. They're so self-centered that they see nothing else except like what they're doing, and they don't care about anybody else. That's why you see, and like Patrick explains how Evelyn's banging Bryce and he doesn't care, and like he's banging Courtney and Evelyn knows, but she doesn't care. It's like nobody cares. They're just more worried about themselves.
It's like the lady that cleaned up bodies.
Yes, which is a good thing that we'll get to soon.
Was that Barbara Walters?
I don't know. Was it? I don't know. Is Barbara Walters the like journal?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
That's why when it sounded like her, so I was just like,
I feel like a lot of ladies sounded like that back then.
Oh,
Yeah.
I think 80s woman, like
if you go and
Middle-aged.
you're like, what is that? Is that the transatlantic? Is that the accent they used? Like very old time where the women were like, and frankly, I'm not sure what's going on over here. Like back in that old time. But it's
that's what guys talked in their 40s.
yeah, I know. That's like the women talk like that, like a certain way back then. And then the 90s.
was that an actual like way they talked, or was that
It was just a movie speak.
or was it the equipment that was recording their voices?
No, they were putting on an accent.
That's so weird.
I think that's what it was called, but literally they just did that for the movies, which is so weird.
Yeah.
I think it was because when they did that, their voices got picked up better or something, because it was the way they were enunciating.
I could see that.
But, okay, so then there's a little Christmas party, and the only reason, there's not much that happens here. The only reason I'm bringing it up is because he meets Paul Allen again. And like we didn't mention before, but sorry, there's a little part where Paul Allen mistakes Patrick Bateman for a guy named Marcus Halberstram because they wear the same bar, wear the same glasses, wear the same suits, glasses, haircut, and we see Marcus Halberstram in the office with the cards thing. So he thinks he's with this woman Cecilia. So Paul Allen approaches Patrick Bateman, and he's like, Halberstram, once again, because he's thinks that's Marcus Halberstram, and he wants to talk shop. they make a dinner date. So Patrick Bateman and Paul Allen are now going on a dinner date. And we get to this bar, which is called... Now, it's because Paul Allen is the big shot and Patrick Bateman is not. Paul Allen is pissed because he's like, I could have got you into Dorsia. Now, Dorsia is like the cream of the crop, the 10 out of 10 biggest thing. Nobody can get reservations in it. Bateman's tries throughout the movie, cannot. And then they start having this conversation about how he could have got them into Dorsia. And then Patrick Bateman plays it off and he's just like, nobody goes there anymore. It's like, but yeah, everybody goes there, but he's just trying to play it off like whatever. And then there's a little bit of things how he doesn't like the food here. And then Patrick, trying to make it seem more important than it is, he just goes, is that Ivana Trump over there? Oh, man.
Yeah.
What's she doing in a place like that?
Yeah, and that's the second time. The first time was name dropping Donald Trump for something else. I don't remember what.
But it's so funny. You can just tell he's trying to make it seem more important than it is.
Yeah.
And then the whole dinner, he thinks he's Marcus Halberstrom. And then Paul Allen starts going off about how Patrick Bateman, he's a loser because he brings up Evelyn. Paul Allen brings up Evelyn, who's Patrick Bateman's girlfriend. And he says, like, Evelyn, great ass, goes out with that loser, Patrick Bateman. And that's when he makes the iconic meme face. And he's like... And then it clicks off to the apartment.
Paul Allen is at Patrick Bateman's apartment, just kind of chilling. He's drunk.
Why did he go to the apartment? Just to hang out?
And
it was like after the dinner, they go there to just hang out. Paul Allen was obliterated drunk.
Yeah, and he's just like, you got a dog? He's looking at all the newspaper on the ground. And Patrick is just going off on songs as usual. I don't quite know what he's saying, but...
He's talking about Huey Lewis and the News and their album 4.
You know, he plays a song, starts dancing. It's a very iconic scene. That's probably the first scene I saw of the movie on YouTube before I decided to watch it. Then he's just like, hey, Alan, or whatever, and just swings the axe down, and it's pretty good.
Now, I will say, I didn't know that he killed anyone in the movie. Like, I really had no idea about this movie.
You guys didn't know?
He had the raincoat too, Christian.
Yes.
And a nice pristine axe.
Yeah, like he had all his weapons in like a closet because then he grabbed like a nail gun later and there was a bunch.
Yeah, I was thinking the axe was pretty clean.
See, I think that's Paul Allen's apartment.
Okay,
I don't know.
And he has an axe.
Wait, I don't know actually. I'm very confused about his apartment because sometimes they say like this is his, and then I think he did most of the killing in Paul Allen's apartment because that's where all the bodies were.
So was he faking being other people in this movie?
No. People are mistaking him for somebody, and he's just running with it.
Okay,
there's a little bit of a difference. He doesn't straight up say, I'm Marcus Halberstrom. He never says it. He just answers to being called that.
Yeah.
So yeah, the big apartment scene goes down. It's so funny. It's just so obvious. Like he set up a bunch of newspaper. There's like a chair there. Like it's obviously a murder scene. And he's wearing a raincoat, and he's actually like, I think has the axe with him. Mm-hmm. And Paul Allen's just so drunk, he's like, newspaper. You got a little chow or something. And it's just so funny. So yeah, he takes out Paul Allen. He yells at him, calls him a stupid fucking bastard. Because I guess that was him pent up from all that shit that he said. And then we see him now dragging Paul Allen's body in a body bag out the door of the hotel, and there's a big bloodline behind that. Blood trail. Sorry, I shouldn't say bloodline. That's something else. Big blood trail behind it. And then we get a camera cut, like a different scene. The blood trail is gone.
Yeah.
Now, this movie really plays into, did Patrick Bateman do it?
Yeah, for sure.
So there's definitely stuff that he did do, but there is stuff in this movie he didn't do at all. So you really have to wonder.
Yeah, for a scene like that, I'd have to say the blood was probably a hallucination because, I mean, when people see it, I mean, maybe that's why they're investigating it after.
See, but there's also so much stuff like that in the movie too. You're right. Because like that woman who's going to be killed, she's knocking on all the doors. Nobody's answering.
Yeah.
He's dragging this body bag through and there's a doorman right there.
Yeah. And
yeah, it really does kind of seem like it's all in his head. And I never liked those kinds of stories personally.
But it's not though. The thing is, some is in his head, some isn't. You have to try to find out what it is.
Because like that one scene with the ATM where he's like, where it said like feed the cat or whatever.
Because there's no way
that was definitely
some random realtor is going to be like, yeah, I took the head out of the fridge. I got rid of it. The body's in the closet. Yeah, I got rid of it. No, so then that's not going to happen.
No, but see, the people believe that scene's real, and I think even the person said it was real, and it was because this is Wall Street, right? And they only care about money. Now, this woman wants to sell her apartment. She sees all these things. If she admits there was a huge murder in there, she's never going to sell it.
Yeah.
So she got rid of it all. And she's just like, I don't care. You just go because this is going to hurt my property because everybody only cares about money in this.
Isn't that crazy? Like, I never do that. Like, real life. Say you own a house and, like, you find a body. Like, fuck, if I covered it up, that means you're, like, a part of it now.
I know, but the thing is, in that world, like, nobody cares.
Yeah.
So, see, now the thing is, you have to think about this. Say you have all your money into this apartment. You'll never sell it after this. It's worth, like, $1 million.
If you're viewing it like, yeah, like it's life and death, like this can really fuck up my life.
It's just money.
Yeah, well, like...
So was he storing the body parts in Paul Allen's apartment?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's where he was. That's why he always said he was Paul. Okay, he did take Paul Allen's identity. That's true, but not Marcus Halberstrom's.
Yeah.
So he dragging that through. He goes down to Paul's place, destroys the evidence. Like, no, he didn't. He goes down to Paul's place, packs a bag, puts a thing on the answering machine, and then leaves because he's trying to cover his tracks. So now everybody thinks Paul's in London because of the answering machine. He packed the bag. Now we get to be introduced to Detective Kimball, played by...
I don't know. Oh, Willem Dafoe.
Willem Dafoe.
I don't know their names in the movie, but I know like the characters.
I said detective. There's only one. Yeah, that's why I thought you would get it. So we meet Detective Kimball. He appears at Patrick Bateman's work. They sit down and, he's just feeling out the situation, asking Patrick about these questions. Asking him questions about, like, did you know Paul Allen, where he's from? Now, a very cool thing, I did mention this during the movie, but just for you people, Patrick is being asked questions. Now, the director, how she filmed it was that she got Willem Dafoe to ask him questions in 3 different ways. One that he knew that Patrick was the killer. One that he only had a slight inclination, and 3 that he absolutely knew. And she just spliced them in differently because it kind of seems like Patrick is reading the situation wrong, because it's like sometimes he's happy, sometimes he's like, I'm gonna kill you, sometimes it's like, we got you, and it's just very up and down, which is very funny.
Yeah.
Like, and then there's a part, like, every time he suspects him 100%, the music changes and it gets really ominous. So there's a part, like, where he gets really ominous, then right after that, he's like, oh, and you live in that big apartment, right? Very nice. And he's like, yeah. We all laughed during that. We were all like, oh, that's fucking funny. Willem Dafoe plays it great in this movie.
Yes, that was very good.
He's always the same character in every movie.
Well, I don't know about in this movie.
Oh,
He
no.
didn't feel like the goblin.
Oh, he did. He did. Well, no, there's those scenes in Spider-Man where he's kind of calm and confident when he talks.
Well, I don't think he plays the same thing in every movie, but he's a great actor. Like, he always knocks it out of the park.
No, the way he was talking Patrick Bateman, and that's kind of how he talked to Peter a little bit.
I see what you mean. Like, that reminds me of the Thanksgiving scene for sure.
Yeah, exactly.
Nosferatu. Well, that's what was funny. Nosferatu, it's like, oh, he's playing a totally different character this whole movie. All of a sudden at the end, fucking goblin.
Every movie's like that. Even The Lighthouse.
Who the fuck is this guy?
So then we get another hilarious scene. We just hear screaming and we're like, oh my God, he's killing somebody. But no, he's just fucking working out to Texas Chainsaw Massacre. That was funny.
Yeah.
You know what's sad is, like, I've done stuff like that where I've worked out and, like, then I've had like a horror movie on.
Well, yeah. Well,
Like, I put horror movies on all the time.
Well, you know what? I watched Dexter and work out, but I think he was just watching the screaming part. Like, that was it. I think he just liked but it is funny. He's just pushing it.
Strong foreshadowing.
He likes the woman
for the
screaming.
chainsaw scene later.
Mm-hmm.
He likes the woman screaming.
Yeah, I thought that too. Yeah, it was almost like he's getting off and getting energy from, like, her torment.
Yeah.
Now, so this is the first time we're introduced to this seedy underworld of his. The hookers, he gets 2 off the street. No, he gets 1 off the street. He tells, your name is now Christy. He grabs another one off the street and says, this is your name now. And he gets him to do a bunch of weird shit. Do you want to take...
Well, I just was laughing at the scene where he said, like, now go eat her ass.
Yeah. No, well, I don't know how explicit that was. But no, he gets one to go doggy style on the bed, and then one's just dancing. And then he just looks at her and he's like, eat it.
Yeah, that's what it is.
But like he gets one, he's in the bathtub and he's like, clean your vag or something like that. Yeah. It's like, okay, Patrick's just off the fucking walls.
Wall Street.
And then Wall Street. Now there's two memes in this. There's two memes in this scene. The one is when he's doing it, he's flexing in the mirror. He's like, yeah. And then the other one is, and it got removed. Now, a big thing in the book, which they couldn't do in the movie, was Rolex. Rolex is mentioned like 10,000 times in the book. But they couldn't because Rolex didn't want to be associated with that. Mm-hmm. So they're in the bed, and the line originally in the book was, don't touch the Rolex. But he just went, don't touch the watch. So that was like a big one, don't touch the watch.
He had to work out for that scene, for the muscles. Imagine he flexed and it's all like nothing. He had to obviously work out for that scene.
Yeah, so he flexed, is all sexy in the mirror, banging, and then the night kind of goes down to a halt, and it's quiet. And then he wakes up and he gets his tools. And then you just see him chucking them out. And they're all cut up and bruised and fucking bleeding. And then they just get out of there quick and like in a hurry and are scared. It was hilarious. Honestly, this movie is funny.
Yeah, like for the most part, I laughed. I wasn't like horrified by anything. Really.
If you're watching by yourself for the first time, it's like, holy fuck.
I wouldn't say any movies are horrifying anymore. Like, I'm too old. Like, I watch too many horror movies where nothing's horrifying. I could see how some of these parts could be pretty unsettling to somebody.
For me, Terrifier is horrifying.
Terrifier gross, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, watching that. Same thing.
Yeah, it's a movie that's like hard to watch, I guess.
Well, I would say that movie definitely, like I was kind of immune to anything for a while. That movie, when I watched number 2, I was just like, the fuck, like, so.
Yeah, I wouldn't say Terrifier is scary to me. Well, you know what? Victoria's pretty messed up. I would say that she's more scary than Art, but. Getting a little off topic here. Our American Psycho review. So then he's got another thing that's very common in this movie is that he has a meeting with the boys. He's always goes to the part and meets up with them. So now you can tell he's getting more and more unhinged. Mm. He's getting more snappy. He's getting more angry. He's getting more pissed. And like all the boys are there and they're talking about their politics like they normally do, and now he just brings up Ed Gein, and they're like, it's just like Ed Gein said. And then they're like, what? Who's Ed Gein? That guy for that politician from Delaware or something like that? And he's like, no, serial killer. He said like, yeah, I'd like to see a woman, but I'd rather see her head on a spit. And then he starts laughing, and they're just like, oh, okay. Like,
yeah, I know. It's just out of his mind.
I know. And another thing, how they play off each other. Like, they don't care what he says. They're just worried about themselves.
Doesn't even register.
No, doesn't even register. So then this is where Carruthers, the red-haired guy, Lewis Carruthers, who he's banging Courtney. Patrick Bateman's banging Lewis Carruthers' girlfriend, right? He gives him his new card, and you can see it's flashy and gold or whatever. And Patrick Bateman's kind of pissed. So now he's so pissed, he follows Lewis Carruthers to the bathroom. You guys remember this scene? Yeah. So he plans on killing Lewis Carruthers in that bathroom. And he goes up behind him and he wraps his hands around his throat. But Lewis kisses his hand and it just immediately nullifies him. And he like turns around and Lewis is into him, baby. And
always wanted this.
I know, and you could tell just because he got joy out of it, it just took Patrick Bateman's fucking thing all the way down. Oh my god, his dick. It just took like his excitement all the way down. He needed to get the fuck out of there and he left.
Wash his gloves too.
Hilarious. Oh, yeah. Fucking hilarious.
Washing his gloves. Yeah.
Dirty.
Yeah, because you gotta keep in mind this guy is homophobe. He's also a racist.
If you're a psychopath, he's like all around. Like everyone has to be neat. Like open his drawers, knives, or.
See, which is weird to me because he is, but I think it's just all based on anger. Like I just think he likes to be angry at people. Like I think he would hate whites. He'd hate everybody. He just hates things. He hates everybody. So I think he's everything. So then we get another Kimball interview, which it's played the same way. You know, it's not that important. They mention a few things. They mention how Paul Allen was saw in London, but it wasn't actually him. And then we get an iconic line. I got to return to some videotapes. For the first time in the movie, I got to return some videotapes, which is a known excuse in this. But you know what? He has a lot of videotapes. You see him with all his porn all the time. What was that one? It was just like girls with big asses or something. Big ass girl or something like that. Me and Forrest laughed about that. She wants to talk. It was funny because she was like, I need to talk to you about something. You're beautiful, Courtney. It's just like, he doesn't care. He just wants to say, he's like, oh, she just wants a compliment. He just, as the quickest way to get him out of this conversation as possible. And then she just like, well, fuck it. And he leaves.
See, that part there, I was like, I agree with him there. Because he was like about to leave and she was like, wait, what? Or this and that. And he's like, what? She's like, nothing. Like my reaction afterwards, I would have been like, fuck. Walked right out.
Your reaction and just murder her. So now they're at a new club. We see Patrick and Bryce at a new club, and you got to remember Bryce is banging Evelyn. Like, it's so fucked up. Like, they're all just banging each other. They don't care. And then they're in a bathroom, and no one's actually using the bathroom. They're all just doing coke.
That's where it's pretty comedic because the guy next stall is just like, I'm trying to do drugs anyway.
Yeah.
Like they all just don't care.
They're yelling and they get bad coke and there's just like, it's just sugar powder. And then he's like, if we do enough of it, we can still get it done. And like, it's just funny because that's a scene and it's very small, but all it has to do with is just doing drugs. Like it doesn't really force it. They're just doing drugs.
That's true.
But then they sit down and then they're in this little club area. And then Patrick talks to that woman, the blonde-haired like model or whatever. This is the part where you brought up the murders and acquisitions, murders and executions part, right? That's hilarious in itself. But there's another funny part. And that's that she's like, I can tell you're a dick pretty much, but I can tell there's kindness in your eyes. And then it just cuts to him in his office the next day, twirling her hair.
Yeah.
He just straight up murdered her. It's like, oh my God, the comedic timing on that.
Yeah, I love that. Then like that scene there, like when he tucked it in, like someone was coming in and he like tucked it in his like pocket, shirt pocket or whatever. Like, that I was thinking like if he got caught later, I was like, this is such an awesome like horror. You know, like Ed Gein's, like people go in his house and there's like lampshade shit. It's like you're talking to this guy and he had like his hair in his fucking pocket. Oh.
Like that's why it's like this movie does have its faults. Don't get me wrong, but I have to rate it high. It's too memeable. There's too many funny parts.
Yeah,
he's a cool character. You know, I like the ambiguity and the ups and downs and the cool little in parts if you're into it.
A lot of high energy moments in the movie, right?
Oh, 100%.
Like there's no dull moments. It's all high energy. The whole movie.
Damn, that was cool. I like that. No dull moments, just energy. Brand's the next David Goggins. So then he talks to Gene. They arrange a date at his apartment. Now, this part isn't like too big. There's just a part with Gene, and it's like Gene's pure. She's innocent. She's not like everybody else. She's a secretary. She has a good heart, and he takes her back to his place and they're very wishy-washy. You know, he's like, she says something and it kind of does something, so he grabs duct tape. And then she says something else and he puts it back because he's like, oh, she didn't mean it. And then she says something else that pisses him off. Next thing you know, he's behind her head with a fucking nail gun.
Yeah.
And then she says something sweet and he puts it down. He lets her live. So he lets Jean live. So there is something there in him that he doesn't want to do it because she's sweet and not like everybody else. He just wants to kill all these people that are like him, most likely because he hates himself.
Yeah, I can see.
Oh, yeah.
That would be a thing.
Yeah, people that are like stereotypes, maybe.
Yeah.
He wants... Like, yeah.
No, you're 100% right. He wants to be... like, he needs to be like them to fit in, but he hates it so much. And he... what is it called? He projects it out, and now he wants to kill them all because he hates himself for being that, and they're all like that, but he needs to be like that. It's a cool thought. The date ends by Patrick getting a phone call, and it's by Evelyn, his girlfriend. She's just like, "You're still seeing Evelyn?" And then this was a cool part because she's like, "Should I leave?" "Yeah, I think you should go. I don't want you to get hurt." And that's so funny because he's not talking about her heart. He's talking about like killing her. And then she says something that she reiterates, "So I should go?" And he's like, "It's going to be safe if you're here." And it's like, God damn.
Yeah,
like,
very true.
He's so on the edge. He doesn't want to kill her, but he knows if she sticks around, he will. He has one final meeting with Kimball. One final meeting. He says Patrick's last... he says that Paul Allen's last known position was with Patrick and his friends, which wasn't aligned with Patrick's story last time. So Patrick's very shaken up about this. And then Kimball looks at him and he just pretty much says like, come on, man, I don't believe it. To have Paul Allen's friends kill him for no reason. And it's played so well because he's playing it like he doesn't suspect Paul. He's playing it like he doesn't suspect Patrick at all, but he's saying something that's so along the lines of like, I know. Beautiful scene. I love it. He picks up the woman named Elizabeth, which is his friend from school.
Okay.
And then he picks up Christy again.
Oh, that's where the chainsaw scene happens. Yeah. Right. Yeah. They drugs them, does his thing.
Oh, yeah,
They
right.
try to escape. Well, one's dead.
Wait, so that
No,
woman...
I'm pretty sure they wake up and then...
Wait, so is that woman dead that's on the bed?
Yeah.
You don't remember that?
Yeah,
No, I remember, but I
and
was
the other
wondering-
girl is up and she sees what's happening. She runs.
Well,
Because she wasn't into sex.
Well, how did he kill her?
I was going to get to that. She wasn't into sex. And then she's like, what's in this drink? And then her, Christy, which he had to really like get Christy to get sex back. Like he gave her a check and then he like had this big wad and she finally came back to sex. And then he drugs him and then they're both, Christy's like making out with her. And then it ends up with, no, why do I keep saying Paul? Patrick and Elizabeth, which was his friend from school's name, are fucking in the bed. And Christy's like, this is my chance to leave or whatever. And she tries to sneak up to do something. And next thing you know, you just see blood underneath the covers and it's spraying everywhere and there's blood all over his mouth. So he was biting the shit out of her. He was probably ripping at her neck. He killed her that way. And then he starts chasing Christy around the hotel.
Really
I know.
good. Yep.
He holds it down as she's running down this spiral staircase. Remember, you got to say it for the viewers on just not watching the video. Well, they're not viewers and listeners. And he's running and he's just like waiting and he's doing this. He's doing a spiral motion with the chain. You were so fucking... You're like, you're going to hypnotize.
No, because I was going to say I was watching when he did that and I feel like the timing doesn't fucking match.
It might have been not real.
True, because he was just following her like exactly, like literally exactly. And I'm like, if you dropped it, I know movie physics, people ignore that shit a lot.
I think it doesn't have a chance to turn off when you let go of the handle.
It does.
So,
But you
it
never
would
know.
still hurt, but I don't think you would die.
No, like the way the chainsaw's on top, so when it like spin over or fell.
True. Yeah, it was kind of
wasn't it
spinning. Yeah. So you got really lucky.
Yeah.
Like if that hit you in the head, that fucking...
But he has,
yeah.
sketches later that went straight through her back somehow.
Yeah, it was different because it went through like her side.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then he just screams, ah! So good. Just this guttural scream. It's so funny to me. Just, ah! And she's just dead. And then it cuts to him now in his office and he's just drawing a picture of her dead in the book, like Christian said.
Yeah.
So now this is where it all goes crazy. He leaves there and now he just has this bloodlust. He needs to kill and he's at this ATM.
This is after the murder.
Yeah, he's at this ATM and he sees this cat.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and he tried to put the cat in a
Yeah, he tried to put it inside the thing.
ATM.
Because the ATM's like speaking to him.
And the woman's just like, no, you're like, what are you doing, blah, blah. And
I know, no thought about it, just man, that killed me where he like puts the gun to the cat.
oh, that's right.
Before that, he's just like, how can I make this go inside the machine?
Like totally insane. Then
I
he
like that he was
shoots
like
her.
obeying ATM as well. It's like,
I know.
you know what I mean?
I have to. And then he gets chased down, cornered by these cops. Fucks him right up. Like bang, bang, bang. Blows everything up.
Yeah, that's kind of why I feel that a lot of that was fake because
100%. There's even a very clear indication too, because he walks into this building and the guy knows him and it looks like his office building. And then he shoots the guy, but then he leaves and goes into a different building. And then he gives his security ID to another guy and just goes upstairs to his
'cause it was
office.
just like,
right?
You're checking in late, Mr. Smith. And it's just like, that's not me. Where the fuck am I?
I know. So
And I
it's-
guess it's another thing about conformity. Not all the shit's the same and everybody's the same.
but it could
They
just
all live
be
in the
that
same apartments.
yeah, it could just be that the first thing was all in his head.
or he just went, like he did finger guns. And the guy's like, oh, fuck.
Yeah, all in his head makes the most sense because unless you're like viewing as like this is a very cynical world that they all live in and like nobody cares about a mass murder.
I know it would be like John Wick, how there's assassins everywhere and everybody just kind of chill about it. So yeah, that's what I think because that first building he went in, he probably just thought of that because then he went into the second building that looked exactly like it. That was probably the real building. He just shows his ID. Then he goes upstairs and he leaves an answering machine on the lawyer's thing. And he still says he killed about 20 to 40 people. He ate people's brains. He describes murders we didn't hear about yet. Insane.
Yeah.
And he's like, I ate some rubber brains.
And like the helicopter lights on the windows.
Yeah, they're chasing him. But once again, could just be
that's what I mean. I feel like all that shit was in his head. He was just seeing shit. He was paranoid, freaking out. Called his lawyer, saw all that shit.
And as this is going on, Jane reads that book of his that has all his drawings of all the murders.
Lots of creepy sketches in there,
which led to nothing.
Yeah, I know. It's kind of, if in a way, maybe if it is all in his head, maybe that's where all his fantasies took place, was in his schedule book.
That's a great observation.
So, yeah.
He was just sitting there the whole time with his music on.
Just thinking about
fantasizing
shit.
about.
A lot of people believe some stuff is true, though.
Yeah, I'm of the mind that it's all in his head, and that's, I've never really liked that kind of ending. If it was all real and there was no ambiguity, I'll rate it higher.
I think
personally,
the guy who wrote the book and the movie, they say a lot is like the kills are real. The ones that are more believable are real.
Yeah.
So then he shows up with all his friends at the dinner, and this is like the big final scene. And he's like, you can tell he's on edge. And then he sees his lawyer there, and he approaches him. And this was one of Christian's favorite memes. And he approaches him, and he's like, man, I gotta talk to you. And he's like, hey, that was hilarious. And the lawyer thinks he's somebody else too. I think he says Douglas or something. And he's like, yeah, that was hilarious. You call me about all that stuff with Patrick Bateman, that loser. Yeah, like, just leave it, Douglas. And he's like, I'm not Douglas. I'm Patrick Bateman. And he's like, I killed Paul Allen. And then he's like, no, you didn't. And he's like, yes, I did. He's like, it's not possible. Why? Why is it not possible, you stupid bastard?
Yeah.
And then he goes on to explain that he saw Paul Allen like 10 days ago and he just got back.
Yeah, like they had dinner together.
Yeah, so then it just like totally shatters his mind. He goes and sits down and he just pretty much says like, I wrote it down, sorry.
It zooms into Reagan or something and it's just like, his friend, his buddy's just, how can you just sit there so cool and so evil and just kind of just put on a straight face? And meanwhile, like Paul's, Patrick Bateman's sitting there too.
Yeah.
Just chilling.
He sees Reagan, and Reagan talks about how something, and then one of the guys says how he's good on the outside, but on the inside he's most likely like evil. And then Patrick's just like, the world fades. So everything drops, the sound drops. And then he's just looking around and he sees all these people, and he says he like relates to that. And he's talking about how all the pain he inflicted on others, and he still gets no satisfaction from it, and telling us like even all this killing and all this stuff, he still feels nothing. Like
he wants the world to suffer the same way he does.
Yeah.
But even with that, he would feel nothing. It's kind of like psychopath. Like he's everything's fake with him.
It seems like he's trying to kill to get the satisfaction. He's still not getting it, but he's always chasing. Almost like a drug addict. They're trying to get this feeling, but it's just not there.
When was Reagan president? Was that in the 80s? When did this take place? Because it's funny, because if the movie was made now, I would view it like, it's so pretentious because they're including all these political figures that were modern to modern politics.
Yeah.
But because it takes place in the 80s, whereas I'm like distant from it, and like I don't care about Ivanka or Ivana Trump or whatever, or just even Reagan. It's so
this must
I'm
have
able
been,
to view it in a different light.
This must have been set in like 88 or 89.
Yeah, because they talked about 85 being like the past.
Yeah, and 87 at one point. Like there's certain albums they mentioned where I'm like, okay, that came out, but nothing from 88, 89, and Reagan would have been president still. So
I love this movie. I thought this movie was great. I love the subcontext. I love the little parts. I love the creative directing. I love the performances. I love the memes. I love that I can distinguish like I can what's real from what's not in the movie. Like I could tell that like that big fucking outburst that he had where he killed everybody wasn't real, but most likely where he killed Paul Allen was. And it's just like Paul Allen is dead, but everything's just a case of mistaken identity. People think they're seeing Paul Allen places because just like that lawyer says he saw Paul Allen, but he's just mistaking Patrick Bateman for Douglas.
That is true. Breath. Yeah, there's a lot of that in the movie for sure. So there's like an overall arcing what do you call it? It's like a statement of some kind of like a direction to the
100%.
story.
I really enjoy the take on capitalism, materialism, the 80s, the obnoxious conformisms. Like, I was all in on this movie. I think it's absolutely
Patrick
brilliant.
even just says that straight. There's like a full minute of going like, we got to be better humanitarians and send a message out to be better as people, and like, you know, all et cetera, et cetera. And everybody's just like, nice speech. And then they just keep acting like themselves.
Yeah, it's so funny. They go bust into this big talk about like what's the best and all this fighting, and we have to stop this. And then they're like, yeah, we just got to stop like giving our money and like capitalism, and we should all just do this. And they just eat their $5,000 steaks and shit. It's just so what's the word am I looking for here? Not just contradictory, but also just plain morally wrong. Like, they have a warped sense of reality in their heads, which this movie is just, I love it. I love the talk. I love how this breeds conversation, not only about topics then, but now. Like, it's still relevant.
How do you think they all adapted to the TV show? Like even if they do 6 parts, 6 episodes, little season.
Well, it's probably going to be more like murder mystery.
Do you
type
think it'll
thing.
be
Well, not
80s or
fully like
modern?
that, but
I think they'll do the 80s.
That would be the best idea, because if they do
wonder.
modern, that's difficult, but not undoable. But
I think they're going to remake the same movie, and everybody's just going to bitch that this guy's not as good as Christian Bale.
that's the thing, is Christian Bale really holds the movie up, just in general, because everything, like, such a great, I mean, he's one of the best actors out there, so how can he not like steal a scene?
I know.
Because
But-
like, what, you had Jared Leto, oh, you know, that's a bad example. You had Willem Dafoe in there and shit, but and like everybody's looking at Christian Bale, like they're just you know,
enamored by his performance for sure.
Jared Leto there, and like
You got Skeletor?
also that man, I even recognize Jared Leto. He's like, yeah, totally
He's
different.
looking good. It's so weird how old he is, honestly. Like, you wouldn't think he is. Like, he was doing big roles in the 80s or early 2000s. But like, he's been in movies for a long time.
It's funny that in more modern stuff, he's trying to act like Christian Bale's acting in this movie, where his hair is always slicked back, like in Blade Runner, and then in Tron and in Morbius, he's always like very edgelordy. Like, move away from that, and you can probably find success. Also, the cult. Stop the cult.
Hashtag stop the cult. It would have been so funny if he just did like his Joker performance if he got Patrick Bateman. Well, come on.
Jared Leto's the real Patrick Bateman.
But okay, so let's give our star ratings here.
All right, let's go around the room.
Brandon, start.
Out of what, 10?
8 out of 10.
I was going 8.5. I dig this movie.
Pretty good movie. Pretty good acting.
I only dock it down 1
Yeah,
from you guys because I do not like all in your head stories, and there's possibility there. You know what I mean? It's not as like, it's not straightforward, and I like those straightforward movies. So I just go 7 out of 10.
So I think then,
Still like it.
So we gave our star ratings, and now we just do a median. I think that's about 8 out of 10. Got about an 8 out of 10. You got 2 8s, an 8.5, and a 7. I think it's even like, if we're not going 7.7, I think we'll just go 8, round it up. So that's our review for American Psycho, 8 out of 10. Thank you. We're going to do more movies. The structure was a little bit off this episode. We're going to hash it out, get a little bit better. This is our first one. Give us a break. But thank you all for watching. Please show up next week